So today on Idiots Go Running, we have Smithy Runs. Say hello, Smithy Runs.
Hello, Colin.
On our show, we've got a guest who likes to run. Do they really? Do they jog around the place just for fun? That's not fun. Are they a professional athlete? Nope. Lining at the start with the elite. It don't matter. We've got a guest on our show because we asked and they didn't say no. It don't matter because our show has a guest. It does. Pretty much because we asked and they said yes. So, Lewis, we'll call you Lewis, but you said your running alter ego is Smithy Runs.
That's
so,
right.
Tell us a bit about yourself. How did you get into running? What's your story?
Yeah, well, running, I guess it didn't come easy to me, just like everyone else. I don't think anyone naturally loves running or anything like that. I come from quite a rugby and gym background and just decided to go for a marathon one year, mainly to lose a bit of weight. And I just fell in love with the process of it all. I thought I'd hate it, but yeah, I just started really enjoying those sort of long runs where I could just be in my own thoughts, and I find that I would enjoy it a lot more than people would tell me I was going to. And yeah, so maybe I had a bit of a natural predilection to the running, but as soon as I did my first marathon, just like everyone, I sort of said, that's me done, not doing anything ever again. And I've got that ticked off. And then COVID happened and I started finding out about all these people like Dean, who obviously friend of the show, all these crazy people who run further than a marathon. And to me and most people, that blew my mind. I just thought if I could do something like that one day, that would be incredible. So I challenged myself with doing 50K and, get that first ultra ticked off. And then I was like, right, you've got these milestones on this ultra journey of 50K, 50 miles, 100K, and then 100 miles was like the peak of the mountain. And I was like, that's a class framework to try and build some progression. And listen, why not just go for it and see what happens?
That's how you started. I came across you when you were running for mental health. You decided to run an absurd amount 1 month. Was that right? Like a marathon every day or something?
It was a marathon every day in March last year.
So how did that go? How did you prepare for something like that?
Yeah, really, it's a great question because I didn't get any of the answers because I was trying to search online, like, has anyone done this before? Is there a script for this? And what can I do? There wasn't, surprisingly enough. And I just thought, like, we can at least give it a go. Like with most of these things, I think you need a bit of naivety to start and then just a bit of grit to get it done. So I had a bit of time off to myself and I wanted to do something crazy. And, besides the idea of running the length of the country, which requires a lot of logistics and teams and people that are going to help you along that. I was like, I could just run a marathon around my area and just do that every day and see how far I can go with it. And obviously I wanted to do something, to raise a bit of money. It was a charity that close to my heart at the time when my family were going through a tough time. And yeah, I just wanted to try and lift everyone's spirits. That was really the undercurrent motivation of it all. And yeah, it was a long month. But to be honest, actually looking back, I really enjoyed it. It had its hurdles in the first week. I think more so than the rest of the weeks, strangely enough. It probably got easier as it went along because I think the body just adapts in some way as well as the mind. You're adapting to the routine, getting up at the same time every day and leaving the house every day, running at the same pace every day. And there was teething pains in that first week of, blisters and you get a lot of muscle pain in the first week. And then it just seemed to sort of subside as I adapted to it. And it was a special month and got loads of people out involved with me. And I never thought it was something I'd be able to do, but it's another proof that you can really do anything you put your mind to.
I suppose I need to ask, what did you eat throughout that month? And did you get faster? Did you get faster as the month went on or did you get slower?
I got faster and I got fatter because I needed to keep eating like so much. Honestly, like that was one of the biggest things was trying to track how much I was eating, about 5K calories a day probably, and we're talking all sorts, Colin, all sorts.
Okay.
I used to make I called it a super shake, where you basically just get a blender and you throw every bit of chocolate and confectionery you can into it with a bit of milk and some protein powder, and just get that down the hatch. People who know me know I love cream eggs, and there was a lot of cream eggs. It was the right time of the year for it, and yeah, honestly, probably have like 2 cream eggs on the run, 2 cream eggs when I finish, and yeah, it was something to look forward to as well at the end of it.
By the end, did you ever want to see a cream egg again?
I said I wouldn't, and then Easter came along again, and I was just like an addict, sniffing a bit of
Sniffing a bit of cream egg. We don't encourage snorting cream eggs on the show. Just so everyone's aware, we enjoy cream eggs in respectable amounts. I think that's what I would say. Enjoy cream eggs responsibly. I think that's where we're going.
Yes, I don't know. You should be passing more than one a day, to be honest.
No, it's not good for your health, and that would have added on the faster and fatter. Recently, what have you been up to this year, and what have you got next? What's your plans? What's your next plans?
Yeah, so it's been a good year so far in terms of the challenges. So recently I ran or tried to run from Belfast to Dublin, which for anyone who doesn't know is about 107 miles. And which is obviously that was the same amount I remember you guys did last year. And that was
Yeah.
definitely an influence for me. I just thought, I really want to try and just give this a go. I've had a couple stabs at 100 miles, and I haven't quite reached it. And this one, I was, really, really determined to try and just go the distance and forget about the time and try and enjoy myself. And that was all great. And I prepared well until the weather came that weekend. And we're talking absolutely biblical rain all Easter weekend. It didn't stop raining one bit. And it's not the nicest run in the world, as anyone who's driven the route knows. It's just along hard shoulders and rolling hills, and there's not much beauty out there. And
No.
when you're combining it with just being absolutely soaked the whole time, it was absolutely crazy. I withdrew at 87 miles, which I'm really proud about. And to be honest, I'm surprised I even got that far, mainly due to the fact that I genuinely thought I was going to get hypothermia. Like that was a legitimate concern. When I'd already changed my clothes about 3 or 4 times, and the sun came up at about 6 in the morning. So I've been running for about 18 hours at that point. And, I really was struggling to just generate some heat in me. And, I was finding, when you're doing these ultras, you're obviously taking walking breaks and you're taking running breaks. And during the walking breaks, I was finding myself, oh, geez, I need to start running again because I'm getting cold. And then I got to the point where I was running and I didn't want to run. My legs didn't want to run, but I was having to run and even still struggling to generate heat. And yeah, I was a bit concerned. My phone was out of battery and my watch also had run out of battery. So I wasn't even logging the miles in my head. So, I made the call. I promised my family and my partner before I started I wouldn't be an idiot on these things. So as much as this is the idiots go running, I made an actually sensible call to pull out at that point. And fair play to anyone who finished that morning. I don't think there was many.
You say 87 miles, you build out 87 miles. People don't even sign up for a marathon. I would tell people to sign up for a 100-mile race in itself is the challenge to actually put your name forward. These races aren't cheap. These races, the clothing, the gear you wear, the prep for it, it's time consuming. It's not cheap. So even to get to that stage is incredible. To get the 87 miles is incredible. To not log your run with your watch and your phone, man, that run doesn't count. Once your phone is off, just call it a day. Call it a day once that phone goes, or once the watch goes. Call it a day there for me. No, look, it's brilliant. And we, like myself and Andrew, when we did our 107 mile, it wasn't easy, and it can get cold at night, and you do get freezing, and you do get tired. And I was lucky enough to have Andrew to pull me through that. Don't tell him I said that, although this will probably be live. But don't tell him I said that. Having someone with you also helps, Lewis. Yeah. So next time you go in, get a buddy to go. So you've said you've attempted to do 100 miles. Is there any other times you've attempted to do 100?
Yeah, well, actually, it was probably the first time I met you in person. Was down at Victoria Park when they do the annual insanity races, as I call it. It's a 1 mile track, and it's just a 24-hour. See how long you last. And you very kindly surprised me and came down and logged a few of those nice, easy early miles with me. And so that was I'm sort of winging that one and just seeing how far I could go. And that one wasn't weather related. I just got to 75 miles and my brain cells were just completely left the chat. It's definitely still something on my bucket list. I see those We Run Wild events. I know there's a couple come up this summer. I'm sadly busy for them, but I definitely want to do one of them one year. And yeah, like you said, just maybe grab someone, use a crew, because I'm pretty free spirited when it comes to these things. I tend to go in, don't think, do, and don't prepare anything. And to be honest, that probably is my Achilles heel. And even when you're in a dark place, if you just have someone to drag you through, that definitely is a massive help.
Does drag you through. And you mentioned We Run Wild events. There's 2 this year. There's the Northern Ireland 100, which is 108 mile, and then there's the Family Way, which is the end of July. It should be a cool one. It should be pretty flat. But look, see if you're signing up for one next year. Give me a shout, and I'll be your running buddy for you. And I'd say that now. I'll be a running buddy, and we'll get you over that 100 mile sort of checklist, and then you can move on to whatever's next. What would I say is that I was chatting to, it's Joe Manda, Dean Carnazes's partner,
yes,
and she said to me about DNF, and she goes, anything can happen on an ultra. It's a long race. It's a long time, so like DNFing, it's not unheard of. It could be for stomach issues. It could be for your watch stops working. It could be for any reason. So it's I don't think it's a failure to DNF on a 100-mile race. I think the failure is not turning up at the start line.
Yeah, that's it. It's such a cliche to say just getting to the start line's a big achievement, but it absolutely is true at 100 miles. Yeah. And I definitely feel like the more races I do, the better perspective I gain of just the general running picture. I saw a lot of people do the London Marathon and obviously have a tough time out there with the sun and stuff, but I feel like I am pretty bulletproof to the disappointment of these races. I know that anything can happen, and you do learn so much.
Oh, you do. Like Andrew laughs at me. He calls my missing the Malin run, missing the nearly Limerick, which the wheels fell off at about 120 miles or something. But they did fell off. That story, missing the Malin part 3, is coming. We all promise everyone. It just hasn't happened yet. Speaking of idiots, I have a question from Andrew, and you were telling me before the show you're looking forward to Andrew's question.
It's the best bit of the podcast. No offense, Colin.
Oh man, I'm going to end the podcast right now. Thanks for that one. It's the best part of the podcast. We've been on here for 15 minutes, and you've just been waiting to hear Andrew's voice. That's do you know what? I'm just going to run his question.
You're in the middle of a race, and you come to a bridge, and out of nowhere, a Canadian grizzly bear jumps on the bridge and says to you, he can speak to you, by the way, he says to you, "G'day mate, if you want to cross this bridge, you gotta play me and rock, paper, scissors. If you lose, I eat you. If it's a draw, I punch you in the nose and I'll take both your shoelaces. And if you win, you can go on across this bridge. So tell me, what do you do? Do you play rock, paper, scissors, or do you chicken out and run the other way? Or do you do something else?"
Wow, that is... I mean, to be honest, on these ultras, you do tend to get these crazy hallucinations. It wouldn't be something that would be too surprising for us overnight ultra runners to see. But wow, a big Australian as well. Why?
No. I thought that myself. I thought Canadian grizzly bear. G'day, mate. I was kind of going. Maybe it's an maybe it's a Canadian grizzly bear who emigrated from Australia. He clearly has Australian family, but yeah.
I think I'd have to go for it. I think in these ultras, you have to be brave, right? You can't chicken out at any point. It's all about just putting one foot in front of the other. And if it's this bear is trying to stop me, I'm gonna have to try and take him on. So, I back myself. What's that? I don't know what the odds are of rock paper scissors. I know you had a bad time in Greece, but
I've always had a bad time. Andrew's very good by the way, Andrew's very good at rock, paper, scissors. If there's anyone you want by your side with rock, paper, scissors, I struggle to beat him. And I don't know how. He is just very, very good at rock, paper, scissors. But yeah, so you would play the bear?
Yeah, I would. That's it. So Andrew's obviously got the psychology of rock, paper, scissors locked down. So I'd have a few sessions with Andrew and work out a wee strategy to get past him. But best of three, I back myself. Listen, if you lose the shoelaces, you lose the shoelaces. It doesn't matter. Your feet are going to hurt at any point, no matter what at that point. And if you get eaten, well, at least you don't have to run the rest of the race out.
At least you don't have to come on and explain to people why you didn't finish the race. You will make the news. Smithy runs ate by a bear on mile, we'll call it 101 because you nearly finished. You've still got 6 miles left and you'll hit that 100-mile marker. So, so
long as my run gets uploaded to Strava, still, and it's a post-mortem Strava, fine. The respects kudos will be massive.
Will be through the roof. Will be a bloody puddle on the floor as your final Strava picture. You'd make it on the running cult history fame, like a wall of fame, whatever you want to call it. But so Andrew's brought in the thought of Canadian or Australian, whatever you want to say. Is there any big events around the world that you would have your eye on to go in the future? I want to do this.
Wow, good question. So I saw the two lads doing Marathon des Sables recently on the pod.
Yes,
they smashed it, didn't they? They finished it. So yeah, that's definitely one. I think that's probably got to be everyone's bucket list. But it looks so hard with the heat. The two that spring to mind are the Marathon des Sables and Badwater, but both of them are just extreme heat challenges. Like, I don't even think they're running challenges. They're just how long can you survive in this heat? So realistically, probably not either of those two. Yeah, I definitely want to do the length of some form of country. I've seen a few more people do John O'Groats to Land's End of late, which is, I think it's over 1,000 miles. But if you broke that down, I think similarly to my marathon every day, it'd be a logistical challenge more than anything, but it'd be a crazy sort of achievement to run from one part of one side of the country to another. And I guess you've got a small island in Ireland that is maybe a little bit more accessible for us and maybe more achievable. But yeah, that would be really cool, wouldn't it?
It's just the adventure. It's like people have times and finishing things and medals. Like we always say, everyone runs for different reasons. There's people run for times, mental health. I like to push myself to get myself, more bulletproof, as you say. But it's the adventure. It's the adventure. So much fun. And you touched on it was Jake and Ross.
Yes.
Similar to myself and Andrew, where Ross is the real runner, the real pusher, the real one turn up for these events, and I have the feeling Jake just rocks on for the laugh. Once again, it's the duo, it's the two of them, it's one pushing the other through. All these things always does help.
That's what else? I'm missing, Colin. I'm missing my Robin.
You're missing your Robin.
I'm missing a Robin. To get me over the line of these things.
So you see, you've listened to the show. So would you be saying I'm the Batman and Andrew's the Robin? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, that's obviously the case. Yeah.
You're giving Andrew too much kudos. I would say he's the Catwoman, cat girl. I
Oh,
don't know,
well,
whatever she's called.
I think a lot of people would
Whatever
like
she.
to be Catwoman to be.
well, well, I don't know. He could well be. But yeah, Robin or Catwoman. Actually, do you know what? Robin's even worse than Catwoman. I'm not going to give him much respect for Catwoman. Yeah, Robin, definitely Robin. Your food. Let's get the food. Everybody loves food.
Yes.
You love your cream eggs, and would you bring cream eggs with you on every run, on every event that you do? Is it your go-to thing?
Confirmed, have done, and will do for the foreseeable.
And this is quite a contentious question I'm going to come out with next. Does it have to be the original cream eggs? The Oreo has brought out their
Oh.
own version, and it has all these different variations. They're caramel cream eggs. Like, there's a lot of different cream eggs out there. Are we going like the original cream eggs?
I'm going to be pretty staunch here and say it has to be cream egg and cream egg only. All those are just phonies. Okay, you need that
Just
nice
phonies.
gooey fondant. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want any of these crunchy stuff or caramel.
No, it's just a chocolate bar wanting to be a cream egg.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like
candy.
if there was a chocolate bar fancy dress costume and everyone had to turn up as a cream egg, you're going to have Galaxy caramels, you're going to have all these Oreos, and they're going to be turning up. But the cream eggs are the star of the show, and I suppose I don't want to plug any type of brands, but how do you eat yours?
Oh, how do I eat my cream egg?
How do you eat cream egg?
I'm a bit more of a specific process. I'm probably in four, right? Off the side of the top, you sort of break it into four compartments. You know, none of this swallowing out. I have a pal who eats it in one. He literally will just pop it in and just let it melt and
I'd be scared of choking. I'd be scared of choking.
I think he lets it all just melt in his mouth and then drinks it like a shake. I don't really know. No, I don't really do any of the licking out the fondant. That looks a bit dodgy in public, and you can get away with a lot of stuff in an ultra race, but I still don't want to be seen licking out a cream egg. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll bite it in four.
You bite it in four?
Yeah.
So how do you bite it in four? Do you like explain how you bite it in four? Because I usually just break the top off, and then I would eat it in three. Bite the top, bite the side, and eat the other side.
It's not far off. If you picture dividing it down the middle and dividing it down the middle both ways, we're talking like that. So one bite is that top right corner, the next is the bottom left, and then you get me.
Like I kind of do get you. So where I take the top off, you take the top and or the half top and two. Brilliant. Well, that's for anybody who's running ultras and wants to learn how to eat cream eggs. You've come to the right place, and I hope you're still tuned in to this podcast. So, Lewis, anything you want to tell people, talk to people, or just anything you want to get off your chest in the show before you go?
Nothing crazy other than, I think running's really, really booming at the minute. It's going through a super successful period in terms of, just seeing more and more people out, which is amazing. It has its downfalls as well, which I won't get into, but I just would say to people like, please sign up to like a race. And, if you enjoy doing a half marathon, a marathon, honestly, ultra marathons are like, they're like that on times 100.
Steroids.
It's a hell of an experience. I know it's not for everyone, but you're always a better person for doing these big endurance events, and they teach you so much about yourself. And it's certainly made me a much more confident person, and just confident I can do things that I wouldn't have thought I could do otherwise. So and also like I would go into these events with a bit, don't take it too seriously, don't take yourself too seriously. That's why I love what you're doing on the podcast, because It Is Go Running really does resonate, because you do have to be a bit of an idiot to run these races, especially these ultra marathons. But you know what, that helps you. That mindset really helps you. You can't just stare at the floor and grind it out for 10, 12 plus hours. You need to just be a bit silly and realize what you're doing silly. And I think that spirit really helps you.
Well, Lewis, you did touch on a point, and we're not the idiots for running. They're the idiots for not running. That's what I'm going to say. We're not idiots. The ones who are out there in the middle of the spurns, in the middle of the night, running. We're not idiots. This is where we're meant to be. This is where we're meant to be. Everybody else sitting in, having nice food, going out for meals, having a coffee, relaxing, enjoying watching TV. Idiots. That's what I call. I'm only joking. Everyone's an idiot, and we use it in a positive way, and that will never make the word idiot negative. But Lewis, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and thank you so much for taking time to chat to myself and answer Andrew's audaciously stupid question. But yes, have you enjoyed it?
It's a pleasure, Colin, honestly. I look forward to all the episodes when they come out, so it's really
you'll be listening to this one. And when you do sign up for your next 100, come back on the show, talk to us about it, and then when you finish it and you get past that 100-mile mark, sure, then you come back on again. So that's potentially 2 times we'll bring you back on again.
There we go. Wow, it's a contract.
It's a contract, it is. You don't just come on to Idiots Go Running. You sign a contract, and that's why you're here. Lewis, thank you so much for coming on today to Idiots Go Running.
My pleasure, Colin. Cheers.